Hey, what's up? It's Joe. Welcome to my 5-Minute Friday for September 29th. Skip last week. I was in London, and that Friday I had taken my family over to Oxford for the day. I think we needed a day to decompress from the Big Data London conference, and I just want to give a quick recap of Big Data London and my thought on conferences in general, especially going into 2024. So Big Data London, if you don't know, it's a giant free conference, free to attend at least, in conference held in London, focused, strangely enough, on data. And so a lot of people, I think it was 21,000 registrants and 14,000 attendees had shown up. Wonderful time. I caught up with a lot of friends, both from the US, all over the world, who traveled for the event, as well as my seems growing family and friends in London. So it's always cool to catch up with everybody there. London is starting to feel like a few other places. It just feels like my home away from home. So it's really cool that I have a very strong network of friends in all these cities, and London is an awesome place to hang out. So, but about conferences, let's talk about that real quick. I think that this year was a very interesting mix of vendors. You obviously had your big vendors, names I won't name, but I'm sure you can figure out who they are. They are the big cloud data platforms, the large data companies that have raised a bunch of money. So they obviously have a very massive presence at these types of conferences. And then you have sort of the long tail of every variety of data company you could imagine, right? So pick your use case. I'm sure there's a data company that will solve that problem. And what was interesting is the first day I walked into the conference, I caught up with a friend of mine, and this person made an interesting comment. He asked, well, doesn't it seem like a lot of the vendors here they're features? They don't seem like products or companies. They seem more like features. And I looked around and I thought, yeah, you're absolutely correct. It definitely does seem like a lot of the companies were providing what would be features, especially when you look at some of the bigger companies and they provide those exact features that these companies provide. And so I started thinking about the situation. And, I think a lot of these companies have probably raised money during the boom times of the 2021, early 22 stage. But after that, it got me thinking, so what are conferences going to look like in 2024 and beyond? Because a lot of these companies, I can't imagine, are going to be able to raise the money they need to sustain operations. So perhaps they get bought. Perhaps they do get funding, maybe at not great terms, and perhaps they end up closing shop, right? And so I think those are the three big alternatives. I'm sure there's some nuance in there. But so if I look at 2024, what do the vendors at conferences look like? And I think there are going to be fewer vendors. I just don't know how the math works out otherwise. The number of vendors that I saw at Big Data London, as well as other conferences, there's a lot. And I get the sense that maybe this is a bit of a Hail Mary pass for quite a few vendors in the space. If you can attend the conferences this year and hopefully drum up some business, then great. Things hopefully work out. And if you can't, then I guess you're going to have to consider some very tough options. But I think that's where we are right now. I don't know how the math would work otherwise. A lot of these companies, again, raised money during the boom times when it was very apparent you could raise gobs of money on a pretty good idea and a pretty good team. But the reality is interest rates have risen quite a bit since then, and it's going to be a much different situation in 2024 and beyond. I don't think the Fed's planning to reduce rates anytime soon. I mean, if by all accounts that expectation has been pushed out by at least till the end of next year and maybe longer. So here we are, right? And as the old saying goes from Warren Buffett, interest rates act as a gravity on asset prices. So the more interest rates rise, the lower asset prices go. And we were in the everything bubble for a while, and now we're not. And I'm very curious to see what vendors show up to conferences, and more importantly, what vendors survive. And again, this is not me trying to be negative. I'm just being very realistic of the situation. I have a lot of friends that work at most of the vendors out there, right? I have a very, very large network of people and friends. So this is not to discount the work they're trying to do, but I just want to highlight an important point that, I think secularly and structurally, a lot of the availability of the options a lot of vendors provide, it's either going to be consolidated or it'll be washed away somehow. And that's a bit unfortunate, but that's how the cycles go. I've been through, quite a few boom times and quite a few very gnarly downturns, and that's the kind of how I said downturns. I meant downturns. I was gonna say down times, but anyway, that's what I get for being a jet lag still recording this. But it is what it is. The economy is the economy, and the fact of the matter is that the market doesn't need what everybody's selling at this point, and that's just how it goes. But that's not to say that all my friends that are working at these great companies and working on great products and arguably features, they won't find something else and to work on or land another great idea. So I would say for everybody in the industry, just keep your chin up. It's not over by any stretch of the imagination, but the need for data continues to grow, and I feel like we're all gonna land in a great spot in the future. So anyway, hope you have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.